It's mail time.
And
It's still bobbing.
or I know you just got to flow with the beat sometimes.
Yes, sir.
Definitely. Hey, it's lunchtime. Welcome to another episode of Mailbox Monday, the place to go to get all your career questions answered. Before we start, please make sure you like, share, and subscribe. We got a great question today about transitioning into HR. So we're really excited. Hopefully, I got some of our HR family out there, ready to dig into these questions. Please.
Yes, sir.
In the comments if you have any suggestions, if you have any comments, if you want to speak about it, if you want to come on the show, let us know. We'll post a link, definitely to bring on some special guests today. And so once again, my name is Duncan Harrison. I'm your co-host, and I'm here with my main man live from Qatar. Brother, you can go ahead and tell them who you are.
Peace and blessings to the universe. Ramadan Kareem, Ramadan Mubarak to all my Muslims out there. It's your man Jay Tyler, live from Qatar. It's lunchtime, not for me. It's actually dinner time for me at 7 o'clock, but we're going to rock anyway. We got a special question, I think that can help out people. And we just appreciate y'all coming here today to rock with us. If you're on the replay, we appreciate you looking at it on the replay as well.
Yes, sir. All yes, sir. Well, let's go ahead and get into the question.
All right. So listen, without further ado, let's do what we came here to do. You dig? Let's go. So here is the question, Dunk. I like this question because it's actually about what we do in HR, right? So It's a pretty cool question. So, dear Mercer County Works, I work as a customer care associate at a large telecommunications company. I enjoy my job helping customers with their issues, but since the pandemic, I have been thinking more about establishing a career that utilizes my skills more. Also, I have the ability to take advantage of tuition assistance for educational certificates, bachelor degrees, or graduate degrees. I think the best fit for me is a career in human resources. I'm just not sure about the path to break into HR. Can you help me with some advice to make a successful transition? This is from Jamilah H. Much appreciated, Jamilah H. All right. So, Duncan, do you want me to take a stab at this first and go along with it?
Definitely. Go right ahead. Go right ahead. Yes, sir.
Right, cool. First and foremost, Jamilah, thanks for emailing us at Mailbox Monday. Mailbox Monday at mercercountyworks.com.
Yeah, right.
That's where anyone. Oh, you got it. Okay, cool. I wasn't even looking. See, boom.
Right below you. Right in the corner. You got
definitely. No doubt. That's the easiest way to show people, right? But that's where this question is coming from, people. So I'm looking at it on the screen here. I'm gonna come, focus on my talents here, right? So listen, Jamilah, thank you so much for this question. It's near and dear to my heart because I didn't start in HR as well. I started out more in sales, more in recruitment, and I got into HR later on in my career. So I know a little bit about what's going on with this question. So I'm gonna speak a little bit to my personal experience, and hopefully it will be something that you can draw from as well, and to maybe make your reality into something that come from a dream into a reality that it did for me. So listen, Jamilah, the first thing I would say is I applaud you for thinking about a career instead of a job. So a lot of us have jobs, we go to jobs and things like that, but we don't necessarily know if we're forging out a career. It seems to me that you want something a little bit more stable, that you're thinking about really rounding out yourself into more of a professional brand. And it feels like you probably know yourself a little bit more as being in these jobs for over the years. So I applaud you for that and thinking of the future instead of just for now with jobs. The second thing is, it's great that your company even allows you to have tuition assistance during these times. We know a lot of companies have cut back on salaries. They cut back on total compensation. They cut back on employee perks and benefits. So the fact that your company is still allowing you to do tuition assistance is really cool. So I'm glad that you want to take advantage of that. And then let's start. So a little bit of my story is when I initially was thinking about HR myself, I was always in more of sales roles and recruitment roles. And so I was always dealing with people like you in the customer service field, but I was more so selling, doing marketing and things of that nature. And so the great thing about HR is that you are dealing with people, and HR has so many different disciplines that you can get into. It's not just one thing, right? There's so many different subsets of HR. And so for me, when I looked at my resume and my skills and everything like that, sales seemed to transition a lot into being a talent acquisition specialist, or someone that was in the recruitment, internally for a company, or you could be a external recruiter, and you can have multiple jobs that you're finding candidates for. That seems to me that it could be the most likely of a transition based on the transferable skills you have from customer service. And so that's how I actually transitioned from more of the sales positions, marketing positions into HR. It was through talent acquisition. So I worked with companies like SAG-AFTRA, and I also work, with a lot of different charter schools in the New York area. And so I just think that that's the way for me that it worked, and it might be beneficial for you as well. The other thing that helped me,
and so Tyler, really quickly, also to our viewers that aren't in the HR profession, please explain to them, what talent acquisition is, right? So you jump from, you went from sales to talent act. What is actually talent acquisition?
Thanks, Doug. Yeah, you're right. So talent acquisition is really just the department that really oversees how to, make the proper selection and recruitment, for candidates to come into the company. And so they are going to be responsible and working in tandem with HR, right? Because they are HR professionals, to get the right talent, to hire the right talent. And so they're the ones that you would go to if you wanted an employee referral. If you refer someone to the company, that you thought was a good candidate, they're going to handle all that process of reaching out to the person, looking at the resume, doing the interviews from the phone and in person, and talking with the hiring managers, doing all that work to bring the right people into the company. So that's more so what talent acquisition is. And so I think the second thing I was going to say, Dunk, that helped me in this process is that I actually went back to school. Okay, so I went back and got my master's degree in human resources management, and that was something that was a big thing, and I think that you don't necessarily need to go back to school fully to get like a master's degree, but maybe you get a certificate, from like E. Cornell is great as well as a place to go. There's a lot of other great schools that are offering like E programs or E certificates, and maybe you can take that E certificate and leverage that into some experience. And then the third thing was that I got involved in some HR things at my job. I wanted to take on HR projects. So I made sure that I was holding down my role, with sales, marketing, and things like that. But I said, I want to learn a little bit more about HR. Can I do some projects that help out with that process? And so I was able to put some things down that I did that assisted with the HR department. Now, that won't work for everybody.
And let me ask you this question too. Did you find that actually getting a degree in was it human resources management?
Yes.
Did you find that to be helpful?
Yes, theoretically it was helpful, but when you got in there, it was something different.
So what do you mean theoretically it was helpful?
Yeah, so I mean, they give you a lot of different things to think about in terms of knowledge base. So in terms of the knowledge base, in terms of the theoretical aspect of situations, and also the practical aspects of employment law and things like that, it helped me have a good foundation. But when you get into HR, there's a lot of things that you're going to learn on the job, especially if you're not native to HR. So it's one of those things where you got to jump in and you're going to make some mistakes, but you're going to have people around you that are going to more so train you more so in that entry level position. So as you rise up, you're going to be able to combine what you know from that degree, from the practical and a theoretical aspect, and you're going to make it into more of a practical situation. So by the time that you're going through a couple of years, you're going to see almost a lot of different situations that you maybe read about before, and you're going to have other people that are going to help you out. So now you can be someone that helps someone else out if they're coming in and being groomed into the HR role. So again, it helped me out in terms of base knowledge, but I really learned a lot by just doing really tactile work. I learned so much from that, but it took me about a couple of years to really get comfortable and to know what I was doing and to leverage what I knew from graduate school. So,
right.
Duncan, what about you? Because I know you had a different route to it as well, and you're a master of a lot of things, I think, in my opinion. And so, but like, how did you get into HR as well? Because I think your situation is a little bit different from mine.
Definitely. So I think, and it's not too much different. I believe that I was kind of forced into human resources. So the position I currently hold And actually, let me back up. I think I'm echoing. Do you have this somewhere else?
No, not. I don't hear anything.
Yeah, I'm hearing it on my end.
Okay.
I think it's gone. Yep. Okay. I think we're good
All
now.
right, cool.
So really, I jumped into into the HR space. We didn't have an HR department, so I had to kind of create, the human resources department from the ground up. Knew nothing about HR, so just like went dived into certifications, and really took it from there. But I think to answer, Jamilah's question, she's really looking to level up, by transitioning into the field of HR. And I can tell you, while it's not always easy to break away from the routine to try something new, it's important to remember that change can definitely be exciting, right?
Yeah.
But I think we have to be realistic, right? And so, Jay Tyler, I'm not sure about you. I'm not, to our listeners out there, but I find HR to be one of the most intimidating areas of a company, right?
Facts.
And I see that because, depending on, what aspect or what core competency you're working in, you need to know, especially if you're a journalist, you need to know how much vacation time people are entitled to and what steps should be taken if an employee is sexually harassed or assaulted. And let's not forget about, compensation, benefits, and pay equity. So if you are a generalist, you have to cover all those things. If you work for a large corporation, they parse that out. So you may have your talent act, you may have your benefits department, you may have your compensation department. So it may be a little bit easier because you're focusing on one thing. But if you're talking about going into a smaller corporation and you are HR generalist, which I do, I have a love for HR generalists because I consider myself one. That you get to learn a little bit about everything, right? So you've kind of went into those different spaces. I have to put that disclaimer out there to people that are looking to transition, into human resources. It's kind of one of those jobs that I love, but wouldn't recommend for anybody, right? Because you have to have a certain type of, have that certain type of mindset, as well as, I guess, really aura about you to kind of be in that field, especially with dealing with people on a day-to-day basis. It's not a position that people are going to love or like you, right? Because that's just how the HR department is. But I guess with that being said, right, definitely want to give you some advice on how to make that transition smoother for you. And so I think, for Jamilah, I think the first thing is, follow your passion, right? So definitely explore the potential opportunities based on what interests you. There are many aspects of human resources. So you need to find out which aspect of HR actually fits, what you want to do, right? So for example, if you love communicating with people, then HR might be for you, right? If you enjoy data, then you may want to look at the human resources, HRIS, human resources information systems, of HR. So I think that's very important. Definitely you want to take advantage of your networking opportunities, right? Find out, where the industry events are in human resources. Join your local SHRM chapter, right? Or your
What's SHRM? What's that?
Society for Human Resources Management.
Right.
So I am definitely a member of SHRM. I love the information that they put out. It's definitely helpful. On a day-to-day basis. And I think, definitely find a mentor, right? Find someone that can help you, through this process, right? That can, kind of bring you through the ranks. And I think, lastly, Jay Tyler and I really come from a generation where, it was pushed for you to go to college and get your degree. And I think now we're really transitioning into the certification, generation, right? Where Google is really pushing their certifications. And if you can, pass their certificates, you can get hired at Google. And so I think it's very important that you get your certifications, right? So you can go after your, if you don't go after the SPHR, definitely go after the PHR, right? Go after the SHRM SCP, go after the SHRM CP, right? And become certified so that people will see you as an expert, really in that field. I think it's very important. And as Jay Tyler said, those eCornell certificates, you have Harvard has definitely stepped into the game. I'm waiting for Princeton universities to jump out there. So definitely get certified. And I think, and even looking at when we talk about data, learning how to use R, that's very important when we talk about the future of work and becoming a human resources professional, right? Because it's where it's no longer traditional, the way it was, right? Where human resources is now moving a lot towards being the human resources business partner, right? So, looking at not just the personnel side, but, actually how to, keep that company in the black and how, to translate people into their bottom line without losing the human factor. So I think, really with that being said, I'm not sure what you're waiting for. The human resources industry is booming right now, and it's time for you to make that move.
Yeah. And I'm not sure how much you can robot human resources. So I don't think that you have to worry about a lot of the AI is going to definitely influence human resources in the future of work. But it's still a people-based entity as well.
Right.
And only last thing I would say is just embrace all aspects of HR, because I know there's a big debate right now between generalists and specialists, but when you first get into the game, you should know a little bit of everything, and then you're going to really feel like you're going to start knowing what you want to do. But in the beginning, definitely don't turn down anything. You're going to have, if you work at a good company, you're going to have a lot of people that can definitely help and groom you. And those certificates, the degrees that you have, the mentorships, the SHRM, definitely all those different resources are going to help you a lot. Just don't be scared. Just jump right in. Something that you're going to make mistakes on, but just make minimal mistakes and you should be fine.
Definitely. Yeah. or don't make any mistakes and you'll go.
I'm just saying, I don't know, I only know one person that's perfect, not even a person. So I don't know, you're going to make mistakes.
Well,
but again,
so I'm assuming you're talking about me because I don't make mistakes.
Yeah, that's debatable. That's for another show.
Okay.
Another show. But is that it for Jamilah, right? I think I don't want to give it too much, but I think that's enough.
No, I think that I think that's definitely covered. HR is definitely booming right now. Really across the world. So it is a really good time to jump in and get in that space.
Yeah. Jamilah, good luck. We're here for you. So again, anyone else who's looking at this, if you want to drop your questions to us, we do this every week, Monday lunchtime. And it's at Mailbox Monday at mercercountyworks.com. It's right there.
Yeah, that way.
Right here. It's for me right here. Right. Yeah, it's right there. Right. So check that out. Let's get out of here. Jamilah, good luck. I think you'll be fine. But look at those certificates that we talked about. Look into SHRM, because SHRM is going to be a resource upon resource upon resource for you once you transition into this field. All right. Cool.
Yes, sir.
Get out of here.
Monday, 12 p.m. Peace.
Peace.